Welcome back to Flat Irons Tuning. This is a special Subaru News edition because there was some breaking news over the weekend at the Fuji 24-hour race from Subaru that has kind of lit up all of the Subaru News circuit boards. And so we had to come in and make a special video to go into it. You've probably seen already mentioned of basically these three cars that Subaru has announced that they're developing, three manual cars. There's three things underneath covers. Basically what looks like a WRX sedan, a BRZ, then a hatchback, say a Crosstrek silhouette, all under covers that they're developing. We're going to get into that. There's actually another piece of news that got leaked just days before this happened on Saturday, and I think it ties into them. We're going to dive into it all. Before we do, just want to say make sure you like, subscribe, hit the hype button if you see it. That helps us out a ton. Really appreciate that so we can keep coming back, staying on top of the Subaru news and bringing it out to you. Here is what's going on. In fact, let's go back a couple days before this announcement from Subaru directly. So if you remember at the end of last year, Subaru announced that they're returning an STI to Japan, the STI Sport Sharp. It was going to be the first manual transmission version of the WRX, the VB-WRX that the Japan market has got, and they called it the STI Sport Sharp. But they're only making 600 of them, and they were doing it in the lottery system, so you had to enter your name, get pulled, and then you had the opportunity to buy one of these cars. Well, they've done that lottery. They're sending out the paperwork to start ordering the cars. Well, one of these people got this form and is reading through it and noticed there was an interesting option, and he posted up this image of this option that he had, but he then quickly took it down because he didn't want to lose his opportunity to buy the car. But that option was that he could select a TY85 drivetrain, i.e. an STI 6-speed transmission with this STI Sport Sharp. And then this announcement comes out. This announcement from Subaru that they're developing these three new cars, three manual transmission cars, one of them being a WRX, and they say in the announcement that it's going to have an option for the TY85 STI drivetrain transmission. So this completely or perfectly lines up with this piece of information that got leaked. Could this mean that an STI drivetrain is going to be an option ongoing for what we currently know as the WRX? Maybe it's only going to be on the WRX TS. Hard to say, but this is fascinating, and it totally lines up with this announcement that came out. I want to read you the top of this press release. Now, again, this is from Subaru directly, but this is through Google Translate, so I mean, I can't verify that this is exactly correct, but this is what it says. That the three models currently under development will incorporate technology and expertise cultivated through motorsports activities, and they're scheduled to be delivered in 2027. So we should see full details on these here pretty quickly. Then it kind of gives the breakdown. So we've already basically talked about the WRX as having the TY85 transmission option. So my thinking or my hope is that this is going to maybe come over here as part of come over here as an option for the WRX TS. I think this is an exciting thing. Let us know in the comments if you think just having the option of an STI transmission is a big deal for the WRX, because I think it does, because it solves a couple problems. We might get into that later. Let's move to the BRZ before we talk about the Performance-B, because the BRZ, whatever this concept is it has the most unknowns about it. They're saying that this is going to be a revision of the STI Type RA, which was a version of the BRZ that they released also last year, only 300 units sold, also sold through a lottery. And basically this was a BRZ with a blueprinted and balanced engine, a little bit of lightweight changes made to it, and then a further refined suspension with ZF dampers tuned by STI and all that sort of thing. So it's kind of like the pinnacle of what the BRZ could be, and they're saying that they're going to take that to a whole nother level. And then you go back to the beginning, and it's based on their motorsports experience and expertise. What could that mean? Let me know in the comments what you think it is. You know what I think it is. I think that they're going to give it a 6-cylinder engine, some naturally aspirated version of what we see in the GT300 car. They've gone as far as they could possibly go with all of the existing framework, I think, in the Type RA that came out last year. It just stands to reason to me that this is the next possible step that they could go. Worth mentioning here, again, just last week, they have announced the 2027 BRZ for the US market, and there was no mention of this. First question is, does this mean it's not coming to the US? Hard to say. If it is, does it mean it's only coming as a 28 model? Also hard to say. Now, again, worth noting back to the WRX having the TY85 transmission option. The WRX for 27 has not been announced. So it's still entirely possible if they're going to make this change. Maybe that's why they announced the BRZ, but they haven't announced the WRX yet, because they're basically going to roll that option out in the US market for the next model year. Again, my guess would be it would only be an option with the WRX TS, but we'll just have to wait and see. And I really do think that is a game changer. It's a big deal because I think there's some people that want that in the WRX, and there's some people that are not going to want to spend the money to get it. I think making it an option, it solves both of those problems, and that makes that WRX, as it sits, I think even more appealing, especially in the TS trim. I think if the TS gets the STI drivetrain, it just all makes sense there. All right, now let's talk about the hatchback, the next generation STI, which is what it's likely going to be. This basically Performance-B concept. Subaru specifically says that they're currently under active development for the production version of this Performance-B STI concept, and that they plan to finish the model that is a model with a new and distinct performance compared to the WRX and the BRZ. Again, remember, the Performance-B concept is what basically, like a handful of weeks later, was shown as the Super Taikyu car. They're making this announcement at the Super Taikyu race. Keep in mind as well that all of these press releases have happened at Super Taikyu testing events or Super Taikyu races. You have Subaru board members. Mr. Fujinuki, who's the chief technical officer for Subaru of Japan, like on the board and everything, is at these events. He's talking about these cars, and they're now making all these announcements basically to connect their projects to, in part, what they're doing with the Performance-B concept with the Super Taikyu car. All of this put together really reinforces to me that what we're seeing as the Performance-B concept is the Super Taikyu car. That is what is going to be this next generation STI. And when they're saying that they're wanting to separate it or differentiate it from the WRX and the BRZ, again, we know that it's making more power. 368 horsepower as it runs in the Super Taikyu car. It was making almost 400 horsepower, the same engine in the Nürburgring STI. And then remember, the Super Taikyu car has got a revised STI transmission. It has a new design for the center differential, plus it has the torque vectoring rear differential. So that is also new. If you put all of that together in a package with, say, 375 horsepower, that definitely differentiates whatever this next generation STI is going to be. Plus it's a hatchback, plus it's a wide body. It has all of the key ingredients to really set it apart from what they're currently, or what the other two cars that we're seeing is the BRZ and the WRX. It all fits together. And what I will tell you at this point too is, since we've really been covering a lot of this, I've been having some people reach out with things that they've seen or things that they know that they have hinted at that's coming, and basically what they're saying now and what we're seeing is the Super Taikyu car. It all fits with these kind of little hints that I've been getting in the background about what is coming out with for the next STI. But this is Subaru Japan. This is an announcement for Subaru Japan. There is no guarantee that we are going to get it here yet. That has not been announced. But again, we have not seen or heard any announcements for the 2027 model year for the WRX. It could be just a special edition from Japan, but it really just doesn't seem like it. It doesn't fit. This being just a special edition for the Japan-only market does not fit with a lot of the other things that I've seen, and knowing that all that other information is lining up with what we're seeing here with this press release from Subaru, I really do think we're going to get it, but that's really kind of the last piece of the puzzle that we're waiting on, is the announcement that not only is Japan getting this car, but we're getting this in the US market. I think this is as clear an announcement that they're making this next generation STI that we're going to get until we see the whole thing, and they give us all the specs and the pricing and all that sort of thing, which is, I bet you within the next 3 to 4 weeks, we're probably going to get confirmation on 2, if not all 3 of these cars. And honestly, the BRZ is the one that I'm most curious about. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is that the one that you're curious about? Or is this Performance-B concept? It is an exciting time to be a Subaru enthusiast. I think they're doing a lot of really good and really interesting stuff. And I'm hoping that this is just the tip of the iceberg. I think they've got a lot of the key ingredients to hit a home run with these cars already in place. I have a feeling this is only going to be the first of more steps in this direction to increase the level of performance, increase what the STI brand means in terms of performance, that sort of thing. So it is exciting times for sure. Got to get this information out to you to see what you think. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Are you excited about this? What do you want to see with these cars? All that sort of good stuff. And we will come back and let you know any more new cool information about this, of course, as we hear it and as we see it. So thanks very much for your support as always. Until next time, stay tuned to Flatirons Tuning.